Hello everybody, today I'm going to be sharing a RealSide dream experience from my book Chronicles of a Cosmic Space Case. The PDF link to this book and book 3 of my RealSide Experiences are in the links below the description of this video. Dream 25. Aliens in the woods. In this dream, I was in the woods at night with a friend or two. I could not identify them, but they were known to me. We were trying to erect our tents and seemed unable. We were also trying to get a fire started, with the same lack of success. And if that wasn't enough, it started to rain. And here we were, with no fire to warm our bones, and no tents to take refuge in. Quite the abysmal RealSide camping excursion then. But things would take a turn toward the more interesting as the rains receded and the weather cleared to a degree. Angry-looking dark clouds still dominated the night sky, but then there were other lights to be seen, and these were not the stars trying to shine through the obscuring cloud cover, for these lights did move, whole groups of them, as though attached to something, and there were many of these clusters of moving lights, and quite the array of colours too. The clouds diminished a little further, less obscuring of these lights, and we could now behold great spacecraft breaking through them. They were very impressive and breathtaking, vast in their scale and number, and my camping colleagues and I regarded them with the awe they demanded. The scene moved on a few moments. The ships must have landed in the interlude. The occupants disembarked, for now they were among my friends and I. Also, we were amongst a larger group of people than the dream had initially began with. Seems others had joined our number. The inhabitants of the ships were very alien. Humanoid, yes, to a degree. I had a little trouble recollecting their features on waking, but they were certainly not human. I've seen the faces of these beings before. Maybe a picture somewhere, or who knows, maybe stirrings from my causal vehicle from prior life encounters. They were also telepathic, and this is how we would converse with them. Well, we were speaking with words, but their responses we would receive in our minds. The impression I had were that these beings were of a benign nature and character, and at this time also I was joined by Gwen, my mother. It seemed we were all being invited to step aboard the landed ships and accompany the alien folk. Gwen was eager enough to do this, and well, who could pass up the opportunity for a little space flight and galactic sightseeing? I was up for the offer too. As I said, I sensed no malice or deception, and this encouraged my decision. The aliens were, it seems, bringing to people's attention some of the ailments they had, and it seemed our group had afflictions of a nature that would soon cause us to pass on to the next position, to transition from the physical. Both Gwen and I had apparently heart-related conditions that very shortly would have us transitioning. Interestingly, they communicated with us in such a way that suggested they were connected to us, that we were somehow intrinsically linked, and how whatever skills and abilities we had acquired up till this point had been assisted by their guiding hands. Then the dream ended. Firstly, the detail of not always recognizing who our associates and friends are, but knowing that they are so, is fairly common an occurrence. In our everyday physical lives, we tend not consider those we know. We simply do, and that is enough. And on the real side, it's more impressions and recognition that identifies people more so than our physical senses. The woodland was very much representing the physical level, and all the woes and trials that come with it, exemplified by bad weather, fires that won't light, impossible to construct tents, and cold beans. Then my initial view of the next scene was that it was a distraction of a kind, some phenomena or other, an attempt to grasp our attention and focus. For the sight of spacecraft, of the degree of resplendence I saw in this dream, had my personal self veritably jumping up and down with captivated exuberance. All this phenomena in creation, from exciting discoveries to Loch Ness monsters, to crashed spaceships in Roswell, are just happenings in creation, and have nothing to do with our real awareness. And indeed, our focus on the ears can be derailed, and we can spin off into creation, pursuing knowledge, conspiracies, and chasing yetis, or being chased by them. Also, the dark forces can set up events like this very kind to seduce us, glean our agreements, and attach some restricting tap lines, or the influence, knowing what it is we individually find enticing, may have a hand in setting up some of these experiences for the same reason: distraction, disconnecting from awareness, agreement, and taplining. The aliens who emerged seemed to be benign. My little personal self had ceased jumping about in UFO-related excitement, and my real self had come to the fore, and through my awareness I could glean insight into the intent of the visitors, and they harboured no ill will. Is this something then to do with the intergalactic happenings? Some kind of alien intervention? Another species involved in rectifying the situation on Earth? Peter, my father, has had encounters with aliens and UFOs also recently, and recounted them. Maybe yes, they are getting us used to their kind and their spacecraft on the real side, and we may then be more comfortable with the prospect of direct physical level encounters. How then were they connected to us in the way they suggested? Maybe we were a part of their species and civilization in prior lives, as we all have had lifetimes as all kinds of aliens and positions, and so they felt maybe a kinship, a bond, maybe an emotional attachment still. Attachments were something to perhaps be wary of. As innocent as their intentions may be, it is emotional attachments to other beings that may still be there, even millions of lifetimes later, that keep us returning to creation for future lives.